wearing like shin pads and stuff like that. So that's just kind of been my vibration. Is I like to have a lot of things on while I play, just to, again, I had those issues the first 2 years, dealing with injuries. So I wanted to find something that kind of worked for me. So
is it heavier?
No, it is heavier for sure. Yeah, it is heavy.
In this situation, it's going to change the way you guys feel around the league. I don't know if you guys have had that kind of conversation.
Well, I mean, as a team, we haven't had the conversation, but I believe that, that's always kind of the case, right? Like the more cases you see of certain things dealing with the head, the more the league may try to, mandate it, or maybe, coaches may say, recommend it more, depending on really the situation that's at hand. So we'll see. I mean, it was good for me. I'm sure that we'll have other guys continue to try it as, the year goes on, and whether it looks cool or not, I think it looks better with our helmet than it does with the other helmet.
And do you feel like, I mean, you take such good care of your body in every single way, and you care so much about health and natural healing and all that kind of stuff. Is this such a preventative thing for you to make sure that when you're done with this game of football that you have your faculties intact and that you're still good to go with everything?
Yeah, of course the focus is, the here and the now, but then we also, as men, as people, as humans, we also have to plan for the future and things like that. So I think that, wearing the guarding cap, I mean, part of that was the decision, right? I should make sure I could find ways to preserve myself at the highest capacity. So
Daniel Jones make your life difficult when you watch him on film?
Well, I mean, anytime you have a quarterback that can use his legs like he can, I mean, I'm sure that, obviously it's the issue for us. We're going to try to key in as much as we can, on making sure that we can limit his possibilities. But they had a lot of quarterback runs, just like catch run type of deal. So, I mean, it's an interesting, way of play, but we'll continue to, I guess, find ways to try to minimize as much as possible.
ACL surgery in November. Is he still running?
Yeah, I mean, interesting enough, I think he's 9 months? Yeah, 9 months, somewhere in there, off of the ACL. But it seems like he's still fast to me. I don't know. Maybe have you guys watched him?
No. So the two games that you looked at, he didn't look like the answer.
No, I'm not gonna say that again. Like it's like, if anything, it's a step slower. It's not like he used to be like super explosive now.
But he's not reluctant.
Still running quarterback, yes. They're not afraid to run him either. So.
Just in terms of the analytics, and I don't know if you are aware of any of these or if you see any of these, but just your own, speed off the ball and getting into the backfield, you're just playing really crazy fast. Are you aware of that? And is that a point of emphasis for you each week to maybe improve on those numbers?
Yeah, not necessarily a point of emphasis. I think my emphasis is just to learn the game more. As I'm in there with Coach Tar, Coach Schwartz, just being able to key in on some of the things I can see maybe with the O-line or the D-line, or something that the quarterback does that allow me to play a bit more faster. Mm-hmm. As well as Coach Schwartz putting in different things with the line, maybe some rotations, maybe some shifts and things like that help the linebackers and the safeties kind of get in faster. So it's all a collective effort, but I think the emphasis is just finding out ways to learn the game more, to find those keys.
Jeremiah, on that safety, Jim threw out 4 edge rushers on that line. He was Darius, Alex, Miles, and Obo. And he's done that a few times this year. When you have those 4 guys in front of you, what does that do for you? How does that open things up?
I mean, anybody that has those guys in front of them, it'll make the job a lot easier. Again, with the double teams, sometimes with the pools, the traps, it's very difficult for linebackers to see those traps, the wings, and things like that. So, we have a good lineman, that can always ease that burden. It's not necessarily really just a crazy burden, but it's a lot. Sometimes when you may not see the line kind of go this way, you kind of can't see sometimes. But I think it's good that we do have those guys, and they continue to be have the impact that they have. Helps out a lot.
Is there a nickname for that package? Those 4 guys run out there.
Yeah, I mean it's Don. They may shift some stuff up, but it's just third down coming.
Just 2 games. Do you feel like you're playing as well as you finished last year?
I wouldn't say that. I'm off to like a spectacular start. I still have stuff to fix, basic stuff to fix too. Like a lot of those fundamental things that I was really trying to hone in on last year and can continue to grow off of. I think some of those things can be even better this year. And that's kind of like my focus. Just make sure I'm more patient, not guessing. making sure that I'm not seeing too little or seeing too much. I think that's kind of like what my emphasis is, and just trying to find that middle ground and tempo myself.
Couple more.
Yeah. But I think that's what every great player has to make a decision on, is that, hey, look, if I got a guy, it's one-on-one, and the guy's, coming around the sweep or something like that, and I got, a lineman coming up, I got to make sure that, I either take a shot inside or I take a shot, outside, and then you just have to live with the results. But again, you have things and things that you've seen on film that will allow you to make some of those shots, versus if you're really guessing off the stuff that you haven't seen. That's kind of when it becomes detrimental. But every great player can make those kind of like jump at the ball, go based upon the things that they've studied.
When you make those plays, when you choose wrong, or you get I guess fooled in the way.
Yeah.
What are those conversations like that with Jim afterwards? I'm sure at some level he's like glad that you were aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it varies. It varies depending on how much did it hurt us. If it's a touchdown, it's up. But if it's a 2-yard gain, we kind of live with it, right? So I think that, again, the honing in of what we're trying to make sure is that we limit those mistakes. But at the end of the day, it's football, and we fly around, we make decisions, and we got to live those decisions.
What do you make of all these penalties this team's making?
Well, again, we have to correct them. That's literally what we just spoke about, just correcting mistakes. Whatever you see, on the film that, you see guys jumping, you may see guys, not, necessarily playing with proper technique. We have to just correct those mistakes. So, as we go on, it'll get better.
A lot of them in Jacksonville happen in the fourth quarter. Is it mental fatigue as much as anything?
I mean, possibly. I mean, again, there's could be a couple factors. We all are just trying to find ways to just minimize those penalties, minimize those mistakes. But I would say that, again, I don't think it's a fourth or first or third. I think it's just more so of us just being solid and just being
The
balanced.
coach said everyone watched as a team, every one of the penalties so far this year. Does that happen every week, or is that just because you're leading the league in penalties?
Yeah, I mean, we all watch film, so we would have to to see it. But no, again, the honing in on what coach is saying is just making sure that everybody is aware of these things, that it doesn't happen again. Again, you bring things to awareness when you don't want them to be repeated. So he's making it the emphasis that we correct those things.
Let's say one more.
No.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.